All right. Here we're going to try again. Okay? Got it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna just watch.
Y'all, we're having technical difficulties. Sorry, my iPhone ran out of storage, so we only got part of that first part. So we're going to do part 2, which is missing really a segment of part 1. But I think you'll be able to catch up. All right, so the metric to metric system. We're just going to subtract our given minus our unknown. Since this is going to be a -4, we're going to move the decimal 4 places. All right? So that's the Ivan trailer metric to metric conversion. Okay? Those of you at home missed out on my Ivan trailer story, but it's probably better off that you did. You won't be depressed. Okay. So in our metric conversions, they just kind of go here, the base unit. This is just another way of kind of doing exactly what we just said we were going to do. Okay? Here's your powers of 10. We already kind of talked about that too. Now, this is the part that we really have to know. Dimensional analysis. Okay, you don't have to write the definition down. Just know this is going to be an application. This is going to be a problem-solving method. Okay? It's going to be start with, in a simple sense, it's going to be start with what's given, find the appropriate conversion factor or factors, and set your units up so they cancel. This is going to be all about your units, about grams, about milliliters, about liters, whatever unit you have. Okay? And so 24 hours, we want to figure out how many seconds. So we're going to say 24 hours times 60 minutes per hour. What's going to happen to these hours? Cancel, because anytime you have 2 over 2, 5 over 5, they cancel out. And so whatever's on top here is going to be on the conversion. When we say find the appropriate conversion factor, it's going to mean if I have this unit here, my next conversion factor has that unit on the bottom. And you just keep going until you get to the unit that you're looking for. Okay? So we use all those conversion factors that we have on the previous slides to try to apply to this. Okay? So notice that those units cancel out. Okay? So here are just another set of conversion factors, okay, that will always be given. I'm hoping that, I think that's it. Okay? So we got to practice. What is this? Let's put this into practice. So let's just start off easy. And I want to say, okay, 180 pounds is equal to how many kilograms? And the conversion factor that was given is that 1 kilogram is equal to 2.207 pounds. Okay? Now, sig figs. Exactly 1 kilogram is approximately 2.207 pounds. Okay? The 1 is exact. So this is a 4 sig fig thing. You don't count the 1 when you're doing your conversion. 180 is how many sig figs? 2. That's 0. There's no decimal point, so that's a 0 of a big number, so it's a placeholder. If I put the decimal point there, then it's going to be 3. Okay? So I'm going to start with what's given, 180 pounds. Then I'm going to find the appropriate conversion factor. I'm looking to pounds to kilograms, so I have a direct conversion factor. So I'm just going to put it here. So I'm going to say this, but pounds has to go on the bottom. So the question is, do I multiply, do I divide? Well, I'm going to put pounds on the bottom, so I'm going to say 1 kilogram over 2.207 pounds. Pounds cancel. I'm left with kilograms, so I'm done. So if it's on the top, you multiply, on the bottom, you divide. So this is going to be 180 divided by 2.207. And that equals 81, again. So it comes out to 80 on your calculator, 81.558676. But obviously we didn't measure, if we have 180 pounds with only 2 sig figs, we didn't measure out to the tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions place. So the question, sole point sig figs, is how do I know where to round off? Well, I want 2 sig figs. So I'm going to go 1, 2. I look to the next digit, it's a 5. So what does this round to? 82. that's how you know how to round off. That's what the whole point of significant figures. How accurately can we report our answer? Okay? So let's say we went the other way. We had 25.5 kilograms is equal to how many pounds? What do we do?
You multiply it by 2.207.
Okay, we're going to start with what's given, 25.5 kilograms. And then in this, our conversion factor, we still use the same one, but kilograms needs to go on the bottom this time. So we're going to say 2.207 pounds over 1 kilogram, which means this time we're going to multiply. Now, how many sig figs should our answer have in this one?
3.
So 25.5 times 2.207, okay, comes out to 56.2785. So what's that going to round to? 56.3. And we're always going to put a label on it. And LBS, pounds, comes from a Latin word for pound. It's where your LB comes from. You'll hear a lot of them, oh, we got to lose some LBs. Okay? Pounds. Latin word. All right, now this ain't, Mr. Hobbs, that's so simple. I don't need to do all that to show this work or whatever. But as we get more and more complicated, the units are going to be more and more essential. Okay? So let's take it up a notch. Okay? That's introductory.
When we show our work, will we have to show it like that?
Yep. Okay, so now let's just say that we have 50.2 ounces, and I want to know how many liters that is. And we have 1 liter is equal to 1.057 quarts. Okay? Now, I don't know how many ounces are in a quart. Okay? But I do know that 50.2 ounces, whatever I have right here, has to have ounces in the bottom. Well, I know that there's 16 ounces in a pint. Okay? That's one of the conversions we have. So 1 pint, and that's pronounced pint, not pint. 1 pint, even though English says it should be pint, it's 1 pint is 16 ounces. Now if I stop right there and I divided this, what would I get?
15.
Well, by what unit?
No.
Pints. That's gonna tell me how many pints I have. Well, I need to go all the way to liters, but this is my crossover here, so I gotta get my English system to quarts. How many pints are in a quart?
2.
2. Okay? 2 pints in a quart. So where did I put that?
On the bottom.
I put 1 quart, 2 pints, and I'm gonna say PTS for pints. Okay? The pints cancel. Now what do I do?
Wait, what do you say? How
Quarts
many
to
liters?
liters.
No.
Quarts to liters.
Yeah.
Okay? So, which one goes where?
Quarts on the bottom.
1 liter, 1.057 quarts. So quarts cancel. So I have the desired unit now, so I can stick a fork in it. I'm finished. Then go. Now, here's the deal on your calculator. You don't have to go across the top, write the number down, go across the bottom, write the number down, then divide the 2 out like you may have done in math class. If it's on the top, you multiply. If it's on the bottom, you divide. 50.2 divided by 16 divided by 2 divided by 1.057 equals. And it'll get you the answer on your calculator. You don't have to use parentheses. You don't have to use, add off the top and the bottom and rewrite everything and take forever. Okay? It's on the top you multiply, on the bottom you divide. This divided by this, divided by this, divided by this equals. And we get I see 2 people, 3 people. You guys need to learn how to use your calculator. Make sure you know how to do all this. Anybody? You gonna make me do it? divided by 16 divided by 2 divided by 1.057. I get 1.484. $1,532. Okay, but I obviously don't want to put all those digits. I obviously can't measure to that many digits. So how many sig figs? Well, how many sig figs are here? 3. What about in this measurement?
1, 12, 3.
2.
How do we know there's 16 ounces in a pint? Because somebody said that. This is one of those exact measures. Whenever you're in the same system, 1,000 milliliters is a liter, 16 ounces is a pint, we're going to say that that's infinite numbers of sig figs. It's exact. We know that there's exactly 2 pints in 1 quart. So that's an exact, so we don't count that. We consider it to be infinite numbers of sig figs, because it's exact. But this one is between systems. This is not English to English or metric to metric, it's metric to English. So there's approximately 1.057 quarts in exactly 1 liter. So how many sig figs are there here? 4. So which my answer have? 3. And what is this round to 3?
1.48.
1.48. Okay, so we're going to round the proper number of sig figs, and that, again, that's the whole purpose of learning sig figs. It's not just be able to count 3 and 4 and do that, it's just to know how many places do I round off to. This is as accurate as we can say based upon this measurement. Measuring 50.2, we can't take it out to all these places. It's just, I mean, it's just not realistic. This is as accurate as we can say. Okay? All right, still not too hard. Let's take it up a notch. Okay, let's say that I have 9 cubic feet of concrete. Okay, 9 cubic feet, that's a volume. But I want to know how many cubic, what do I want to go to? Let's go cubic meters, that is. What if we have a cube in there? I start with what's given, 9 cubic feet. Now, my conversion factor that I have, by the way, the conversion factor is that there are, what is it, meters to yards? I don't have that one. 39.37 inches is equal to 1 meter. That's given, right here, okay? So, I have to go get feet to inches. How many inches are in a foot? 12. All right, so I put 12 inches in 1 foot. But there aren't 12 cubic inches in a cubic foot. If I do a box, let's see if I can draw my cube. Okay? I go 1 foot by 1 foot by, which one, the next one do I need? This one here, 1 foot. Okay? That's 1 cubic foot, right? If it's 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot box. But that's going to be 12 times 12 times 12 cubic inches. Okay? So I can't just say 12 inches is 1 foot. I need to know how many cubic inches are in a cubic foot, so I have to cube on the outside. Does everybody understand that? Because 1 cubed is still going to be 1. So I'm still going to get 1 cubic foot on the bottom. But 12 cubed is going to tell me 12 times 12 times 12 how many cubic inches there are in a cubic foot. Okay? Now, cubic feet are going to cancel. Now, just the units canceling. 12 is still going to be cubed. But I need cubic meters. So now what do? Inches to meters, and where does inches need to go? So I'm going to say 1 meter over 39.37 inches what do I have to do? Cube it. Not to be confused with the cubit, the measurement. Cubit, the measurement, which we know is 18 inches. We talked about that
Oh,
a long
yeah,
time ago.
I remember that.
Okay? Thank you, Jackson, I think you were the one that actually knew that. Okay? All right, so now we have cubic meters, which is what we want, so we're finished. So on your calculator, you're gonna go, do you have to cube the 9?
Yeah, because it's already cubed.
It's already cubed,
Yeah.
9 cubic feet. Okay, so you don't have to cube the 9. 9 times 12, does everybody know how to do a cube on a calculator? A little caret to the 3. Okay, a little hat, whatever you call that. What do you guys call that in math? The little
Caret.
symbol.
Carrot.
Caret, I mean, that's what I think an English term is the caret.
That's true.
That you insert a word when you leave it out of a sentence or whatever. I don't know. So 9 times 12 cubed divided by 39.37 cubed equals. 39.5?
0.02159.
0.02159, that. Okay? Cubic meters. But again, now we want to do proper, we want to round off. Okay? How many sig figs does this have?
1, 2.
2. You wouldn't put the 0 unless you measure, because it doesn't change how big or small the number is. Okay, so this has 2. What about this one? Is that really a bell? How many does this one have?
1.
Infinite.
Oh.
This one has 4, so I'm going to round this to 2, so I'm just going to say 39. All right. Tomorrow you're going to work on a worksheet with this. Okay? And it's going to be all about metric to metric, metric to English, scientific notation, and sig figs all on the worksheet. That's going to be your work for tomorrow. Okay?
I have a question.
Hey, hit stop, please. Yeah.